Hi, welcome to Sheepish, episode 40. Today is Sunday, June 1st, 2014, and I'm Holly. How is everybody? I have had a busy week as per usual. Some of it good, some of it a little stressful, but that was all my doing. So I hope you guys have had a better week and that you've gotten lots and lots of knitting done. So let's go ahead and jump right in because what's happening at Chez Sheepish? We have a drawing to do. I know. Finally, we had a lot of response when I extended the socks thread to the end of May. We had a lot of response, so I'm really happy with that. So we had 39 posts. Obviously, the first one is me, so I'm going to do that. I need to get into my phone. And again, I had this pulled up and then I collapsed it for something. Okay, so 2 through 39. So I'm going to see if you guys can see that. Maybe. There you go. 2 through 39. Generate, and that is post 33. Yay! So post 33 is on the second page. There were some gorgeous socks over these 2 months. I am so happy. And post 33 is from Rose Bob. Yay! So as she puts it, lots of pooling goodness. Those look fantastic. Okay, I don't know if I can get this to focus. So, Rose Bob, thank you so much for participating. And they are, well, just private message me with your information and your colors, and I will get that out to you. Yes, I know I still have other things to mail out because that's just me. But yeah, I will get those out to you sooner rather than later. It's a really good thing you guys are awesome and like me. It really is. Also, starting, I need to actually go in and put the FO thread up. But we are starting our Craftalong today. So our Summer Craftalong, and for those of you in the Southern Hemisphere, Winter Craftalong. So yay! So I'm going to put up the FO thread. I'm going to put that picture because I did update the chatter thread with the picture of the yarn that I'm donating. And I got a message from Ellie, who is going to donate a braid of fiber. So thank you so much, Ellie, for that. And she and I are going to work out the details. Yeah, that's probably a good thing. So I'm going to go ahead and put that up once this has actually been edited and compressing. So yay. There have been some great items thrown in there so far. I can't wait to see them. My project's still in the same place that it was last week, but we'll get to that as we go into the current roster. Yeah. Everything's in the exact same spot. There was progress that was done. There was knitting progress. I took the Into the World Mercy Hardigan, you know, the yarn that was accidentally striping, and I started knitting the Mystic Spiral socks with them. I hated the look of the yarn with the pattern. There's a lot of, I need to go down a needle size. It's already going to be sized a little bigger than my foot. I will knit this pattern eventually. I just think the pattern and I are not going to be friends right now. So that sock got ripped out. I have a new plan for my June socks. And those are the Collie Wobbles by Emily from Fibertown. And I believe I'm going to use my Highland Handmaids believe the sugar maple sock. Wow. In the prime colorway. So all sorts of bright colors. And yeah. So I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to actually go and find the yarn in my stash after I do all of this and wind it, and we'll cast on. So hopefully I'll have good sock karma there. And I'll be back on track with my pair of socks a month for Operation Sock Drawer, which I kind of haphazardly joined on Instagram. But yeah, so there's that. Everything else is in the exact same spot that it doesn't really make sense for me to show you. The blanket's still in the same spot. I have not actually washed and blocked the swatch. The May sock has still not been, the heel still hasn't been knit because I haven't had a chance to record the tutorial I want to record with it. So I'm still calling them done, but I will show both officially done when I get that done. So yeah, which means nothing joined the alumni roster this week. Sad. And let's see. So yeah, the scouting report. This is well, it's I would say that this would be a short one, but there's lots that's gone on this week that I'm just gonna blather about. So, and stash enhancement wasn't very big. So last week before I recorded, I caught the update from Knitter's Nightmare, so Sadie of the Yarnivore podcast. I caught an update, and I had seen on Instagram that she had done a colorway that, or she was dyeing a colorway that I had been coveting since the first time she put it up. And this is going to blow, the colors are going to blow out. But it's the Tulips and Vegetables colorway. And it's a 6 striper. I love the fact that she puts this on her labels. Okay, if I can get the label to focus. It focused earlier. There we go. Stripe, 6 stripe. And these are fabulous and bright. I think you can see these from space. I love them. I love them dearly. I also managed to pick up a skein of Gothic Rainbow. So basically all of the colors in the rainbow except for yellow. The yellow was substituted with black, which makes it nice and dark. And yeah, it's also another 6 striper. Yeah, I'm loving this muchly. So, but yeah, that's pretty much it for stash enhancement because I've been good. I've been trying to be very good lately. So I guess it takes us into what's making me happy. I know, everything, like this is short. If you came for the knitting, I'm really sorry. There's just nothing. But I'm recording because A, I said I would, but B, I just need to tell people. I need to talk. So on Friday, Michelle and I caught, well, we had dinner and we caught the 3 Penny Opera at Signature Theater. Dinner was fabulous, hanging out with Michelle and just spending time with her because she's been on a cruise. She went on a cruise to the Mediterranean, and beautiful, beautiful photos. And I believe one of their last stops was Barcelona, and she took beautiful photos there, and I wasn't sure we were going to ever get her back. But she came home. She came home, and so we had dinner, and then we went to the theater. The 3 Penny Opera. Neither of us really liked it. We ended up not staying, which we never do. And I don't know if it's just that we weren't getting it. That could be a possibility. I don't know. But the best thing that happened about that was we got to spend some time together. Let's see. I also got a replacement laptop at work, which makes life so much easier, but now I'm just transferring files over. Yeah. And then we get to sadness. Sadness, which has a happy ending, but sadness. So, you might have noticed that I was using a different phone than I normally use. This is actually my work phone. And I have to use it now for a couple of days. My phone no longer works. And it's my fault that it doesn't work. But about 6 months ago or so, my battery stopped either charging fully or it would deplete fully in no time. And since I always have something on me that I can charge, or almost always have something on me that I can charge my phone, that's not usually a problem. Well, last weekend, I think, I was at the shop because I was teaching, and I keep my phone in my pocket. I don't ever answer it. It's always on vibrate, but I keep it in my pocket. And for some reason, it got overheated. Like, it was at 96% when I put it in my pocket before my class. 4 hours later, I pulled it out of my pocket and it was at 60%. That's a lot. And yeah, I had lots of Instagram, likes, and you know how Instagram messages you, and a couple of messages, and Facebook and everything. And don't stop, please. I love seeing that you like something. But I had all the, and I had a couple of texts, but nothing that would normally bring it down to 60%. And yes, I had already checked and made sure that everything in the background was turned off. Because I've been around this block with Apple a time or two. Well, when I pulled it out of my pocket, I felt that it was super, super hot. But, it had 60% battery. I knew I was going to be able to get back to the car. And I was heading straight home. I had a couple of things that I needed to do, but I had forgotten something at home. So I was heading back here. And I listen, like my music, I listen to podcasts, everything on my phone. I don't know where my old iPod is. I need to find that. But in the walk to the car, that was just around the block, at the end of the block, and not a long block. So maybe a 5-minute walk, because I was looking in the printer's windows. There's a printing press company that opened up in Old Town. So I had to stop and look in the windows. So within 5 minutes, it was at 20%. And still really way too hot to the touch. Now, a normal person would say, okay, I'm turning this off. I'm not going to use it. I'll get home, I'll charge it. I'm not normal. So when I got in the car, I immediately plugged it in. Just so that way I could at least charge it on the way home. And it's connected to my radio. So it charges, it plays. The moment that I charged it or plugged it into the car, it dropped down to, I think it was like 6%. And then went up to 15 and dropped back down to 10. Yeah. And in the car home, I think by the time I got home, which is about the way that I go, about a 20-ish minute car ride, it was at 16%. Yeah. So I came in, put it down, turned it off, plugged it in so it would charge, which then turned it back on, which I was like, really? I turned you off. So that's another thing. And oh, and all of this, the sleep button stopped working. So plugged it in and decided not to go run errands. And it took all afternoon and well into the evening for it to reach 98%. By the time it reached 98%, it was cool again. But as soon as I started using it, it started to heat up. So that's something faulty with the battery. That's one of the, when batteries start to overheat, that's one of the first signs that the battery's dying in your phone. And when it gets to the point where it could burn somebody at the touch, it means that the battery probably is not long for the world and your phone is probably a danger. Now, that being said, I did not get Apple Care on on the phone, because Apple Care has burned me before, and that they wouldn't fix something, which I totally understand. And the manufacturer warranty from Apple is done on the phone because I've had the phone for longer than a year. So I decided I'm just going to do my own battery repair. I ordered everything that I needed. I bookmarked a couple of really good tutorials from sites that I trust. Because one of the sites is affiliated with another site that when I had a BlackBerry that I would do all of my own repairs all the time. And I jailbroke that BlackBerry and all that wonderful stuff. So, yeah. So I ordered everything, put up with it for this week. The supplies came on Friday, and I decided to wait until yesterday to do everything. So I had my dad help me because apparently, this is the old phone. Apparently the Gorilla Glass is slightly bigger than the housing. So it really is a two-person job, because you need to have somebody who can pull up and keep applying pressure with the suction cup, and somebody who can push down on the housing to get the, yeah. Finally that worked. All was well. I was feeling good about everything. And every set of instructions I see tells you to disconnect the screen from your phone. And going in a specific order, you unscrew the screws, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to go through that. That's probably where I screwed up. I should not have disconnected the screen. Now, granted, if I hadn't disconnected the screen, it would have been much harder to get the battery out. But I was able to pry up the battery because it's adhered. It's got adhesive in there. So I was able to pry up the battery, get the new battery in, get everything connected. I reconnected the screen, plugged it in, and it powered up immediately. And it started charging. Awesome, right? Right? Yeah. I was very proud of myself. I connected this battery correctly. What I didn't connect back correctly is the screen. Because can you see that there are some striations here that go down? Yeah. Also, that's my assistive text. Nothing. Slide to unlock. Nothing. It's not responsive. Not responsive at all. Nothing. Can't get into the phone. Now, yes, I could have gone back and, opened everything back up and tried again to reconnect the screen. But I wasn't sure that it was fixable. And I went into this knowing that I could make this a brick. It's a very expensive brick. It's a pretty brick, but it's a brick. So I went down to AT&T because I have insurance on the phone. This is where Apple Care gets into the whole thing, because way back with the first generation iPhone, yeah, I had one of those. I had some moisture damage. Apple Care went, that's cute. We're not going to help you on that. Because it didn't cover moisture damage. Granted, I was able to get a refurb way back when for like $150, but so Apple did help me, but not the way I wanted. They just wouldn't even look at it. They saw that there was damage and went, and we're done. So that prompted me to always have insurance, phone insurance, through my carrier, because they cover everything. This was proven back when I had a BlackBerry. So after the iPhone, like I think I had the first generation iPhone, then I went to a BlackBerry because that's what I needed at the time. And then I came back for when the iPhones went into 3GS. But anyways, so when I got a BlackBerry, literally I had it for a week. It was a brand new phone. It was pretty. It was red. Had it for a week. And it was stolen. Because it was in my purse. My purse was stolen. Well, I filed a claim, and this was years ago. I had a phone in 24 hours. Since that time, I have always had insurance on my phones because of that reason. So went down to AT&T and told them that my phone was lost. It will be lost eventually, but was lost. I needed to file the claim. And I could have told them any number of things. So I filed the claim. Supposedly I will have a replacement tomorrow. I'm doubting that. I think that I'm probably going to get it on Tuesday. I have it sent to work. They're sending it to work, so there is that. So hopefully I'll be back in business with a phone. But in the meantime, I'm using my work phone for everything. Which is not bad. I mean, it's not a bad phone. It just doesn't have everything that I usually use on there. Podcasts. Simple things like Facebook and Instagram. Although I did download Instagram and Facebook to this. Just so that way I'm not completely cut off from the world. And I've been listening to the car radio a lot lately. I'm reminded now as to why I listen to podcasts. Because I listen to them everywhere I go. So yeah. Yeah, that's been my eventful couple of days. So I'm getting a new phone. Yay. They're upgrading me to a 5S because they no longer make the iPhone 5. Not in the US at least. So I get a 5S, and it doesn't count towards my upgrade to the 6 because I am an Apple junkie, and I will probably upgrade to the 6 when it's available. So yeah. So silver lining, kind of. Yay. So I'll be glad when I have that back. I can't remember my number for my work cell. Can't remember it to save my life. I have to keep looking it up. So like when I gave it to somebody today, and I need to give it to my parents just so that they have it, I can't remember it off the top of my head. At work, when I have to give it out to somebody, I either have to grab one of my business cards or I have to open up an email because it's in my signature. So, But yeah, that's about it for this week. Still kind of short. Let's see, what else is there? There are a ton of new podcasts and new web series that I've been watching. I will go over the podcasts. I was going to do that this episode, but I think that that's just going to make it way too long. And I kind of like the idea of having a couple of short episodes, especially when I've got nothing to talk about knitting-wise. But you guys may remember when I was talking about the Lizzie Bennet Diaries last year. Well, they had funded a Kickstarter to release everything in a DVD set, so I did pre-order mine. They have a book coming out, yay. But also it prompted me to look up other web series. And for some reason, there's a huge focus on classic literature being turned into modern day web series and being well done or new takes on it. So I ran across the autobiography of Jane Eyre, and they're coming to the end of at least the book. I don't know if they're going to try and take it any further than that. But Jane is a 22-year-old nursing student, or had passed nursing school and decided to become a nanny to move away. And yeah, it's really good. And the longest episode, I think, is like 11 minutes long, maybe. And that had a lot going on in it. So it's really, really good. If you like Jane Eyre, if you like the book Jane Eyre, you're probably going to like it. And then there's the people who made the Lizzie Bennet Diaries also did, after Lizzie Bennet was over, Welcome to Sanditon, which was based on Jane Austen's one of her unfinished works. Well, I wasn't a big fan of Sanditon, but one of the actors who was in that is a showrunner and one of the stars of The Adventures of Peter and Wendy, which is a takeoff of Peter Pan. He is Peter Pan. They're the Darling family. They're all adults, or young adults. They are still like the children in adult bodies. They live in Neverland, Ohio. Their town was founded by J.M. Barrie. And yeah, really very well done. I think they're only on their 8th episode. I love the actors in it. And I find myself looking and waiting for more. So there's that. And I found a whole bunch of others. Classic Alice, which finished up their first season, and I think they're coming back for a second. The March Family, I think, or the March Family album, something like that. They've only got 2 episodes, and I think that's because they're planning on something very much bigger. But Marmee is in the army, or in the military and away. So Joe is filming a letter. It's really kind of cool. And you've got Amy and Meg, who all make cameos in the first episode. Beth will not get on camera. Not in the first episode, at least. But she's been cast, so there's that. So yeah, I've spent a lot of time on YouTube, which helped me catch up on some of the YouTube some of the YouTube podcasts that I haven't had a chance to watch, which is kind of nice. But that's left other podcasts just kind of like, because I use Downcast for all my video podcasts. So things are piling up in Downcast, so I need to go back and watch some more of those. Yeah, I got a lot of podcasts that I watch. And more that I listen to. Like now I've actually got a whole tab in Ravelry that's devoted to podcasts that I just listened to. And I need to get through all of those. Yeah. Anyway, I have rambled on for long enough. I hope everybody has a good week. Again, I'm hoping that I will record next week, because I keep getting my weeks mixed up, and next week being the first full weekend in June, I'm still here. The weekend after that is when I am going camping. I'm hoping that I will get to chat with Ellie online. this week, do a Google Hangout, and so I'm hoping that we'll be able to do that this coming weekend. So maybe if I can figure out how to record that, or she'll figure out how to record that, and I don't know. We'll figure something out. But anyways, how many times am I going to say that? I will leave you here. Have a great week, everybody. Keep knitting, stitching, crocheting, and spinning on. Bye.